Hey, what's up guys? Alex Romo here, and I'm joined by one of my very best friends in the world, Karazissis. He has been a professional golfer for the last 6 years. He's 29 years old. We've shared a lot of tournaments together and traveled together throughout this time, so I know him quite well, and I'm excited to unpack his story today and hopefully make it valuable for you guys, both from an educational and an inspirational standpoint. He's had an incredible playing career that he himself probably wouldn't want to brag too much about, but that's what I'm here for. He's won 16 times professionally, 5 course records. He has shot a tournament 59 on his way to one of those professional wins out here on the Dakotas Tour. Has had some very close calls in Korn Ferry Q School, advancing to second stage twice. And he has also just recently come within 1 stroke of qualifying for his very first PGA Tour event. All that and much more coming up in the next few minutes here, but for now, thank you so much for joining me. And I wanted to start with the origin story of how Karazissis even got into playing competitive golf, because I know it's a bit different than some of us.
I always played golf growing up. I just played it recreationally. I would play with my dad all the time, and hockey was always my main focus. I played ice and roller hockey. And then in college, I never really thought of golf as something I wanted to do throughout high school and even into the beginning of college. I actually played roller hockey in college, and then one year, I think it was between my sophomore and junior year of college when I went home for summer, I was just exponentially better and I didn't have any reason for it. And so I decided that maybe after college, I would get a job at a golf course and practice and just see if I could get actually good, really good, and practice every day when I wasn't working. And then after about a year and a half of working at a golf course, I decided to try out the Dakotas Tour in 2017, and that's when I turned pro.
That's crazy. Very abnormal way to get into it, but it's definitely a good choice. You've had a hell of a career so far. 2017 is probably a good place to start. That was where you picked up your first Dakotas Tour win in pretty dramatic fashion. So I guess why don't we unpack some of the highlights of that season for starters?
So that was my first pro season, playing full-time, playing tournaments back-to-back. I had a few good rounds early on, but never really strung anything together. And then there was a tournament at Moxon Creek where I had an awesome first day, had a lead in the tournament, and then that was my first time leading anything, and I kind of crumbled the second day and let the pressure get to me and just fell way back and ended up like 11th in that tournament. And then the very next week, I started off strong again at Marshall Golf Club. I had the lead again, and I just remember telling myself not to let the lead bring me down. Don't beat myself, just go out there and try and play good golf again. And the second day, I went out there and I did just that. I shot 59 and ended up having about a 10-shot lead going into the final day and was able to hold on to that one.
That's crazy. Wow. And then did that season, that was the year you went to Korn Ferry Q School in the fall, right?
Yep. So right after the Dakotas Tour ended, it kind of flows right into Q School. I did pre-qualifying at YOLO Flyers Club, got through that, and then first stage in Dayton Valley, Nevada, and then got through that one, and then I missed at second stage at Bear Creek in 2017.
That's right. Yeah. Good start to a pro golf career. That's an epic first summer. And then throughout the last 5 years, you've had a similar amount of success altogether on the Dakotas Tour. How many total wins and course records, and what are some of the notable things out here that you've done?
I've got wins, 2-day event win, and probably 4 or 5 single-day event wins.
And course records at like 4 different places?
59 at Marshall, and then Worthington, the course record of 61, and then tied with some of the other guys on the Dakotas Tour for a couple other ones at Hillcrest and Cattail.
Wow, that's epic. And then you had another close call in Korn Ferry Q School, second stage, 2 years later?
Yes, 2019. Didn't have to do pre-qualifying. So I started at first stage in Saboba, and then got through there, went to second stage again at Bear Creek, and missed at second stage again there at Bear Creek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Throughout your career and all the travel and competition you've done the last 5-6 years, has it been kind of challenging funding your way through all this?
Yes. Fortunately, I have had some success, which helps. Winning tournaments can help propel you for a little ways. and my parents have been awesome to help me as well, but it has definitely been a struggle. I mean, if mini tours, I mean, you can drive your way right into debt. If you don't win, you stay afloat. Making cuts, fine. Yeah, getting your entry back is fine, but that's not taking into account gas, hotel expenses, food expenses. So making the cut and getting your entry fee back is still a net loss, and it has been a struggle. Yeah, if you have one bad month or two or bad tournaments in a row, just a couple missed cuts in a row, and all of a sudden I was in debt. I mean, I had dollars in my bank account and probably like $3 that I owed to my credit card, and I would just keep entering tournaments on my credit card. And if you don't win that week, you get your entry fee back, and I'm still losing money and just adding to this debt on my credit card. And then so I was pretty much breaking even, but staying even at about $2 to $3,000 in debt. And then at the end of the season, I tell you, you got through Q school, you got to get to that next level. And here I am in debt, but I still just put Q school on a credit card, and then didn't get through first stage last year. And then all of a sudden my credit card is completely maxed and I have $0 in my checking account, and I didn't get through Q school. So I can't even sign up for another tournament with hopes to make that money back. I was just completely stuck. So I had to get a job caddying. And so I caddied for about 6 months and was able to get myself, back in green. I had some money to spend. That's how I got back out here on the Dakotas this season.
That's about as good as the story gets, and it's really just getting started. But I know how great of a golfer you are from all of the years we've played together, and it's crazy to think that something like funding could literally be the difference between whether you break through the next level or not, because it's only a matter of time. And I have plenty of pro golf friends and plenty of guys that are great at golf, but not very many, if any at all, that I think have the chance that you do to do something special at the next level. So that
Thank you.
Pains me to hear that it's been a struggle for you to this point. I hope that's not the case for too much longer. Recently, you had an extremely close call in the Reno Open, which is a Golden State event offering an exemption into a PGA Tour event, the Barracuda Open. A little bit of drama on the last hole, and ultimately not the outcome you were looking for, but an incredible week. Proof that you are truly one from that breakthrough to the next level that could make you a household name. Why don't you take us through that experience through your eyes? What happened foremost, and then what are your thoughts on it now?
Yeah, so like you said, Reno Open offers the end of the Barracuda. First day, I mean, I did great, but I knew I was playing solid, hitting and putting well and everything, and just didn't really score. It's a third scoring format, so I ended the day with 6 points, and I was in 35th place, so obviously not near the top. But the day, things just kind of clicked my way. I got a couple good bounces, and I was able to have 3 eagles that round, so that always helps, especially in Stableford. That's huge. I had 18 points the second day, and that moved me up into solo second. And then the final day, I was in the final group, like I said, starting in solo second, and yeah, I played well all day. I was playing really solid, not making any mistakes, and then I got myself to 6 under through 17, and then got to the 18th hole, which is option hole. I mean, it tied up there with driver. I ripped driver there the first 2 days and had like a nice wedge into the green, and I wasn't looking at the leaderboard at all for the tournament, so I didn't really know where I stood. I mean, I had a feeling, started the day in second, and I was playing really solid the last day. I had a feeling that I might have been leading, but I didn't really know for sure. And got to 18, and I just told myself, I hit the last 2 days, why change up the game plan? Let's just hit driver again. And yeah, so I did that. I felt solid over the shot and just ripped driver and sent it OB right. Pretty surprised. I hadn't missed a fairway to the right all week. I had hit it in the left rough a few times, but never to the right. So that was really shocking. And then went back to the cart, obviously, to grab another ball, hit driver again, and knowing, I just try and make a here, just lose 1 point. But then I hit it into the left hazard with driver, the second one. So I immediately went to my phone to check the leaderboard to see, it was a Stableford scoring format, so the worst you can do is minus three points on a hole. obviously hoping I had a 4-point lead so that it wouldn't matter, but that was not the case. I had a 2-point lead at the time, so I needed to take my drop from the hazard and hole it out to make 5. I did not hole it out. Ended up getting -3 points and losing the tournament by a point, which was hard to swallow. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. Being a little over a month removed from it, mostly encouraged. Like, I could do this any given week, get through to the next level. Is that kind of the vibe on it, or is it still challenging to see it that way?
No, yeah, right. It is nice to see that. It's nice to, know. I mean, I was there. I played solid. It was a deep field, a lot of players, and with something really big on the line, and I was able to come out that last day knowing I was in contention and just really put an extremely solid round together.
Yeah.
Third hole instead of the 18th hole, it wouldn't even be a devastating story. It would just be, something that would have just been like, okay, great week.
Yeah.
But given the circumstances and the way it shook out, obviously it feels a little bit harder to swallow. But yeah, I'm definitely taking it as a positive. Played super solid that week. Let's look at it.
Yeah, no, that's an incredible accomplishment in a relatively young golf career. So I'm sure that's not the chance you'll have to get yourself into that circle you want to be in.
Just gotta take whatever you can, whatever you learn from it. And in this instance, I think I learned that on an option hole like that, then it would be beneficial to look at the leaderboard. I'm not likes to look at the leaderboard while I play. I just think that you're just going to try your best regardless, so what's the point? But when you to a hole like that, I think, had that bogey would win the tournament, hindsight's, but I think it would have been pretty easy for me to just take an iron off the tee and then, get it in play, keep it in play, hit it on the green and 2-putt for the win. Hindsight's 20/20, but just got to take what you can learn from it.
That's an amazing, mature perspective for something that, for a lot of people, probably they would not respond the same way. So I think that already bodes well for the next time you're in a position like that. You're going to be much more prepared for it. So I hope that it's the break you're looking for. Another really interesting piece that I want to talk about is the time you spent with Bob Rotella, and what you learned from that, what that whole experience was like.
Yeah, that was an awesome experience. I've been reading his books for like 6 years now, and I was always keeping notes in my phone or in the book if I had questions or something that didn't quite make sense to me, just in case I ever ran into him. And then I had the opportunity to go and stay with him for a couple days, and so it was awesome. I just felt really prepared and had all these questions. I got to ask him about his own books, and he had him clarify a bunch of things for me, and it was really great experience. I think it really changed my whole outlook on golf, and the way I approach tournaments, the way I approach shots. Everything feels a lot different. Yeah.
So here we are in the middle of our season on the Dakotas Tour in 2022. This is your 6th time out here.
6th year, yes
in
sir.
A full season.
Yep.
Do you anticipate trying to keep moving forward in playing Q school, or what would you like to have the next steps be?
That on how I perform the rest of this summer. If I have enough money to pay for Q school, then yeah, I'll do. If not, then I'll just kind of have to one day at a time and see what I can do. If there's any tournaments I can get my hands on, or if I'm gonna have to go back to caddying to recoup some more funds and so that I can get back out there again. Just depends on how I finish up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, definitely the best, and rooting for you to have a super strong finish the rest of the summer.
Thanks,
and
man.
Put the ball in your own court regarding what you can do moving forward, because then you got as good a chance as anyone I've ever played with to play on those next levels. So rooting for you for sure. And the best way to get in touch with you is Kyle's not necessarily as much of a social media guy as I am, making content all the time, but you can certainly see a lot of him just through my own content. And he does have a golf Instagram at Kyle Karazissis Golf, which I will pop up right here. I'm sure give him via DM or message there if you had questions regarding his career or going to play moving forward, sponsorship opportunities, things like that. But just want to say thanks a lot for opening up about some and some hard stuff to talk about, but appreciate it. Hopefully there's some learning lessons in there for other people, and good luck to you.
Of course, dude. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys. See you next time. Hey, what's up, guys? Alex. This is good.
I love when you get it though. When you get the.
It's the yips before like starting a shot. Walking in, walk out.
You're
Walking,
yipping
walk
your
out.
intro.
I got the Keegan Bradley fucking intro hit.